Hey guys, welcome back to another Let's Draw, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this drawing of a sea otter with a mom and a baby, or it could be a dad and a baby, or grandpa and baby, who knows. And we're going to do this really cool watercolor paint effect on the outside using markers and water. So you don't actually need paint for this watercolor effect. We're going to just use markers and some water at home. So I'm going to show you the supplies that I use to make this. If you don't have markers at home, you're not going to be able to do the watercolor effect on the outside. So you'll just do that with crayons or color pencils in your own way. But I'll show you all the supplies that I used to make this drawing. You will need markers, any kind work. You will need a paintbrush. If you don't have a paintbrush, you could use a Q-tip, maybe an old toothbrush. You could even use your finger or a piece of string. Of course, if you're going to use those things, ask for permission first. So paintbrush or something like it. Something to hold water in. Use a cup. I'm using this tray. It's a good idea to have a paper that you can put underneath because this will make a little bit of a mess. So make sure you have something underneath so you don't make a mess on the table. And you might also want crayons or a Sharpie if there's parts of your drawing that you don't want to get messed up with the water effect. So those are all the supplies I used for this. I think this drawing could be a really great gift for Mother's Day, which is coming up soon, or just for fun. But go ahead and gather your supplies and get yourself all ready to start, and we will get started. All right, the first thing we're going to do for our drawing is draw our sea otter. We want to do the watercolor effect at the very, very end, so don't start it right now. If you do have a Sharpie marker, it would be good to do your outlines in this or pencil. I do not recommend you do the outlines for your sea otter using a regular marker because once we use the water, it'll get blurry. So Sharpie, maybe a black crayon could work, black color pencil. Just do not use a regular black marker for this step. So I'm gonna start with the head, and it's going to be out up here, and it's like a big oval, like that, with two little ears on each side, and a little curve inside each one. For the face, we're gonna do a letter V that's a little rounded at the bottom and a curved line above it. And then you're gonna make a big loop that goes back up and stops in the middle. That's for the mouth. And same on the other side. The eyes are very round, so I'm just gonna do a little circle here, a little circle there. And I always like to add that reflection in the eye. Now we're gonna work on the body. So you're gonna do a big oval, like that. And a curved line on the side for the arm, which is going to hold the baby. So you do one on each side. And I did a few little lines in each hand. And at the bottom, two more curved lines for the back feet with three little lines. And their tails are longer, so I kind of do a curved line with a few little zigzags at the end that comes back like that. If you want to add some longer lines to make it look a little fluffy, you can. You could even add some little marks on the body for some fur, but leave space for the baby, which is what we're gonna work on now. So the baby's gonna be pretty much the same shapes, but you just wanna make it big enough that the mom is holding it. So I'm gonna do a big oval like this. Both sides are touching. And then because it kind of looks like he's floating here, I'm gonna make the body a little bit bigger. So a big oval. It's a baby, so it's chunky. And then I'm going to go on the face here and do that. Rounded V, curve on top, curved line for the mouth on each side. And on this one, I did my eyes closed, which are just 2 little curves, but you could have it open. 2 little ears. And then I'm gonna make these paws, or the arms rather, a little longer, curved lines with the little lines inside. And the 2 back feet. And the tail, again, just kind of long. You can add little lines if you want for fur. I didn't do this on the first one, but why not add it on the second one? Okay. Now, if you want the baby to be holding something, you can add something in there. I did a seashell, so I have 2 lines like this coming down. And then you add this little piece at the bottom. It's kind of like a triangle shape without the top. And then at the top here, I just did a couple curved lines. And at the inside of each curve, a little line down like that. All right. Now, what we want to do is, if you have crayons, I would color all this in with crayon or color pencil. If you only have marker, then you can do all the coloring at the same time. But it's better to color these guys in with crayon or color pencil because then the watercolor effect won't mess with them. So I'm gonna use browns, tans, and blacks to color mine in to look kind of like the real thing. You can color yours any way that you want. All right, so I'm all done coloring these guys in with crayon. Now I'm gonna work on the water around it. So if you are going to use the markers to do the watercolor technique, just grab as many different shades of blue and purple, maybe green actually, I'm gonna grab that too. And you don't even have to fill in all of the paper. You can go in and choose any kind of line you want. On the first one, I did more straight lines, so this time I wanted to try curly lines. All right, so now I'm ready for my water and my paintbrush. And remember, if you don't have a paintbrush, yarn, a Q-tip. You could even use your finger, but it will definitely make your finger messy. So I have water on my brush, and I'm gonna just paint over my marker. And look at how it spreads it around, just like watercolor paint. So when you go around your sea otter, go a little bit slower. If you did use crayon, the crayon will kind of not, it won't really let the paint and the water soak over to it, but you still want to go slow and careful. If you did color your sea otter with marker, then just be super, super careful on the edge because it will want to mix up. But just use your water and your brush or whatever you're using to paint over all your marker to see how it turns out. All right, and I'm all finished. I think that turned out really cool. I like the swirls. I think a little bit more than I did with the straight lines, but you could definitely try some different techniques with this. Maybe you want to color the whole background and maybe just put a few drops around there. It's totally up to you, but just experiment with it and have fun. All right, guys, I hope you had fun making your sea otter watercolor marker drawings with me. I love sea otters. I think they are so cute, and I love that this one is holding its little baby right there. But whatever you guys decided to do with yours, just take your time and have fun, and I will see you guys next time for our next drawing video. Bye!